Hello, everyone, and welcome to our third episode of Back Throw Thursday. Today, we're going to go over a potential leak that's been floating around for a while. I'm just going to quickly go over my thoughts on it and just tell you in general how I feel. As you can see, the list is a very long list of characters, and supposedly this is a leak of all the characters that Sakurai was able to choose from to be in the DLC for Super Smash Brothers. I can't say that I believe for a second that anyone would have this much information. Even the people on the higher up situation wouldn't have every single character. I'm thinking this is more or less either just a bunch of really good guesses because a couple of characters have shown up, or it's just maybe somebody that was involved in Nintendo or Namco that just wrote down a list of every character they heard floating around the office. I think the only reason anybody puts any or thinks this list has any kind of merit is the fact that it has Terry Bogard on it. Of course, so many of the other characters on here came out, or the rest of the characters that came out besides Min Min are on this list, and it does not list any like filler ARMS character here type of deal. Maybe somebody had some information that Terry Bogard was going to be in the game, and so he just went through other potential leaks. Like, as we found out that Sephiroth was leaked by a couple of people, and so on and so forth. Most characters had like a legitimate leak out about their inclusion. And I think this person just went through and found all the lists he thought were legitimate and just added them all together. And so now we've got just a giant list of characters that may or may not show up in the DLC. I think the fact that Min Min not being on here is kind of dismissed because it could have just happened late. They came up with Min Min's idea a little bit later. Just seems to me like another strike against this list, because I feel like if any one character didn't show up, like say Sephiroth didn't show up, they would have had excuse for him, or if Steve didn't show up, they would have had excuse for him. But if any one character didn't show up, they'd come up with some kind of excuse for it. Like Sephiroth at the time wasn't really planned. They were planning for Sora, and then things fell through with Disney, so they didn't actually put him in. Or he wasn't one of the characters on the list because of that. Or with Steve, since so little people knew of Steve's inclusion, it was just such a tight thing. Even a lot of the higher ups in Microsoft didn't know Steve was going to be in the game. Anyways, I just think it's hard to, even if every character, even if the rest of the DLC characters show up on this list, I still find it hard to believe that this person actually had a copy of a list and then just posted it all here. You know, the old theory, you take a million monkeys with a million typewriters and eventually they'll type out a coherent story over a million years type of deal. There are hundreds and thousands of people that post leaks like this, and with a list of 40 characters, I'm pretty sure they're pretty likely to get all of them right at some point. I do like a lot of characters on this list. That's not the reason I discard it. Like, for instance, Chun-Li, Lana would be awesome. Lara Croft would be awesome. Oh, Arthur would be great. I think the Arthur on this list was referring to the Square Enix character that was mentioned in the Square Enix leak with Sephiroth and Hero. But if it were Arthur from the Ghouls and Ghosts, I think he would have a very awesome gimmick with his losing his armor and changing his speed and just attributes in general. Spyro would be amazing. Sora would be awesome. Of course, Ryu Hayabusa. But, of course, that's just my 2 cents on the matter. Those are just names that I just happen to catch as I'm looking at it. Not really saying that any of the other characters I wouldn't be super excited for. But those were just the ones that stuck out to me most. Chrono would be awesome. Well, I could do that for a while. Anyways, please leave your comments below what you think of this list. If there any way you think it's legitimate, is there any way that anything specific about it that you know makes it fake? I don't know either myself, so it should be fun waiting for the next characters. A lot of these characters have been... Photoshop's doing its own thing. It should be fun seeing who comes next either way. If there are characters on this list or whether they're not, keep believing in the characters you want to see and have a very good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.